Welcome to the 2019 Fall Sports Banquet. My name is Jeff Nix. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Oh, come on, that's funny. Wow, okay. So I won't be talking much tonight. No, I just wanted to welcome everybody to the banquet. This is the first of several banquets throughout the course of the school year. This is one of two fall banquets that we have. Next week we do football, cheerleading, and dance. But tonight we celebrate our volleyball team, our cross-country team, and of course girls golf. So I really am not going to do a whole lot of talking this evening. I'm going to leave that up to the coaches. But I did want to take this opportunity to invite Allison Braun to the podium. She's going to do the invocation for this evening, so a nice round of applause for Allison Braun.
Okay, if everybody can bow their heads. Dear Lord, I'd like to start off by thanking you for keeping every athlete in this room safe throughout their season. Thank you for blessing all of our teams with successful seasons and for blessing each athlete with improvement. Lastly, I ask for you to bless the meal we're about to eat and to bless all of these athletes in their future sports seasons. Amen. Amen.
Great job, Allison. Thank you very much. We will very soon do the recognition of all of our teams, but first we're going to eat. And we will start with, this is the one part of the banquet that everybody pays attention to me, so let me soak it in for a second. Okay. The head table will obviously go first, and this was randomly drawn, okay? Team four. Table 4 will go first, followed by table 2, followed by table 3. Sorry, the biggest table has to go last. All right, so we got 4, 2, 3, 1. Head table, head on up. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's start with a thank you and a nice round of applause for Jordan Mueller and the kitchen staff for the wonderful meal. Okay, I'll spread my thank yous out throughout the course of the night. But I did want to do one more thank you before I turn it over to our first group of coaches. I wanted to thank our booster officers who helped put this banquet on this evening. That's just one of the many things that they do throughout the course of the year. Behind the scenes, completely voluntary with no pay whatsoever. They get a free booster membership. That's their pay for all the time that they put in. So thank you very much to those 5 individuals. That's Sandy Gegg, Carla Bullock, Deanne Squires, Carrie Staffen, and Rob Coleman. So thank you very much to those booster officers. They do a great deal of things for our students, including 4 $500 scholarships that they donate at the end of the year to seniors who competed in athletics for us. They also have they buy things every year for our sports programs. Some things they've bought recently. We just did a brand new backstop netting at Yanks Field that they purchased. There was a long list of things last year that they bought, and it's escaping me right now, but I think there were 5 or 6 different things that they bought for our athletic program. So they take that money that we make off concessions and memberships and things like that, and they put it to good use for our kids. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the coaches, and then we'll turn it over and let the volleyball coaches start talking. Starting to my left is our first-year girls golf coach. And actually, he's a fill-in for girls golf this year for Coach McDaniel, but he's actually our boys golf coach who did us a favor and did the girls season for us as well with Coach McDaniel having her baby. And that is Ryan Mueller. You guys don't have to stand.
Oh, I didn't know. I'm a rookie.
Ryan's awesome. Ryan's probably got a good story for you later too if he wants it. He had an interesting day today, we'll just say that. To his right is our second year head cross country coach, and that is Sierra Boyd. Going over to the other side is all of our volleyball coaches, starting with our JV coach, Louise Robertson. Head coach, Jess Fallert. And freshman coach, first year, Carla Bosler. Every year we rotate who goes first, so if last year cross country would have went first, which puts them at the back and bumps everybody up a spot. So we start with volleyball this year. We're going to have all three ladies talk a little bit about their season, starting with Coach Bosler. She hasn't even been to one of these before, and they're making her go first. So don't mess up.
Good evening. I am Coach Bosler, the freshman volleyball coach, and I'm going to start by calling the freshman players up. Devin Bosler. You come on up, Devin.
You can just stay right.
Perfect. Allie Byington. Tessa Grass. Drew Ketting. Cassidy Lawrence. Lexi Palmer. Ari Taylor. Maya Watts. And Lainey Yemnitz. These young ladies had a great season this year with a record of 17-0-2. They also placed first place in the St. John tournament, which are accomplishments we are very proud of. However, as their coach, I am more proud of their selflessness as teammates, the hard work that they put into their season, and the fact that they are great teammates to one another. Even though you see 9 ladies standing up here today, due to some injuries starting at the varsity level, some of these ladies had to play up on JV, and so we were only able to play 2 sets each night with 6 players, and so if one of them would have went down or got injured, we wouldn't have been able to finish out that game that night. Because of that, these ladies had to play in positions that maybe they've never played before, and they did it with great attitudes. They just wanted to play the game of volleyball, and that goes to their selflessness. And I've really enjoyed coaching you young ladies. You are great workers. I can't wait to see the great things you do in the future. Parents, I do want to thank you, because without you, they wouldn't have had rides to get to practice, and so thank you for your dedication to get these young ladies to practice to help them become better volleyball players. And then I'm going to turn it over to Coach Robertson of the JV.
And now for the most eloquent speaker of the evening, always good form. Hopefully you can't hear my heartbeat in the microphone like I can hear up here. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. The freshman ladies that remained standing to my right were also on JV, so we're going to go ahead and let them just stay right where they are, their cute little selves. And I'm going to introduce the sophomores of the JV. First, and in no particular order, Haley Austin, Miss Isabel Bosler, Miss Jessica Brown, Miss Kylie Clayton, Miss Callie Schweiger, Miss Paige Hook, girl, I'm not good at that. AJ Prudent, I tried. Girl. Just, you know, I won't keep you guys too long. Just a little recap of our season. I had a one-on-one individual little talk with each of the girls on the JV at the very beginning of the season, individually. And I just wanted to let them know, like, you know, hey, JV is a different animal that we're not used to yet, because now it's combining 2 grades into one team, and it's very frustrating. You might play one position one night, or a different position the next night, or a completely different rotation the third night, and it's very, very frustrating, and I just wanted to tell them that up front, and to stay positive and to keep working hard until we figure out what our best formula is. I should have had that speech with myself, because when we started out 0-5, it was a little difficult, but the girls is what kept me positive and kept me still enjoying my season and getting ready for the next night and excited for the next game. Thank goodness we did go on a little run, and we ended up our season 12-7-1. Starting out at 0-5, I'd say that was a pretty nice little surprise turnaround. I definitely think that we all agree that the run started at the JV Park Hills tournament. The sophomores decided that we needed a pump-up cheer before our games. So while you all might been a little annoyed with them that we had to do it before every single set, that's on me. I probably loved the pump-up cheer the most, getting into it the most, and like spitting on people because I was yelling so loud, and they were worried about my dress as I'm like jumping and fist pumping. And anyway, I think I embarrassingly made it onto some Snapchats or TikTok stories or whatever. Lord only knows what these girls use, because I don't. Anyway, but I loved every second of it. Before I leave you all for the evening, thank goodness, right? Stop talking, woman. I have 2 huge thank yous that I want to say. First of all is to these girls, because for the 4th year in a row, I get to stand at this banquet and say I am still undefeated against Valley Catholic. It was a super fun night that every single person got to contribute in the win with, and I couldn't have been the best night of the season for me, hands down. And then my second thank you is to you parents, for obvious reasons like Coach Bosler talked about, but more importantly, I just really appreciate your support. I had 13 girls on the JV, and as we all know, we've been to countless volleyball games, only 6 are on the floor. I know how difficult it is to watch your kid work really hard and not get to see what they really want out of the game, because there's only 6 on the floor and there's 13 on the team. I want you parents to know that I appreciated every minute with all of your kids, whether they were on the floor or on the bench. I love them all very much. Good night.
I don't have any funny jokes like Louise, so. Okay, anyway, good evening. The Dragon volleyball team had an interesting season this year due to numerous injuries, more than I've ever had, I think, total put together. But the girls put in a lot of hard work and effort that showed through at the end of the season. I would like to start out tonight by sending out a few thank yous. And I would like to first start out by thanking my husband and Kate's grandparents for allowing me to coach and spend numerous hours away from home. Secondly, all of the parents to the dedication to the team. With endless trips here and there, pre-game meals, constantly washing uniforms, but I did get smart in order to this year. The list goes on and on. But the team's success would not have been possible without the backbone behind the players, and that's the parents. Next, I'd like to send a thank you out to various media outlets: Jason Viox at the Herald, KFMO, KTJJ, the Daily Journal, and Todd with the Maritime. Thanks for publishing articles and posting scores, and a huge thank you to our own SGHS media class that allowed others to, and others that covered our games, sorry. It's super nice to have followers across the U.S. watching our games. I would also like to thank my assistant coaches, Carlo and Louise, for keeping me in check, recording games, helping with stats, and it's a huge blessing. It truly takes a whole team behind the team. As well as our managers, Megan and Lana, for videoing our games. They both did a fabulous job this year. I also owe a huge thank you to our spirit crowd. The intensity that you all bring to our games is unlike any other. Every year I receive numerous compliments on your enthusiasm and team spirit. We appreciate your support, and we are truly lucky to have a great game time atmosphere. I would also like to thank everyone that helped at the games. On lines, we had Mike McDaniel and Ann Reynolds. Score table, we had Kelly and Regina. You all make my life way easier, and are willing to help out when needed. It takes a village to run a smooth game atmosphere. Now on to our season. This season was by far the worst I've ever had when coming to injuries, and we couldn't get everyone healthy at the same time. What? Did I say something? Yeah, I know, that was kind of bad. I mean, due to injuries. Like, it was anyway. I mean, the number of injuries I've ever had, it was the worst. That's what it means. Okay, so anyway, we just couldn't get everybody healthy at the same time. This posed a huge hit on our season. We had 2 decent ankle sprains that happened to be back-to-back, and as soon as one came back, moments later, the next one went down. We were only able to fully put 100% of our squad out during the conference tournament and then on to districts. And I knew that lineup worked previously from the summer, so that was what I wanted to get back to. One thing that shined throughout this rough patch, any girls I asked to step up and to play a different position, there was no hesitation. This has something to say to their character. All I can say is I couldn't have asked for them to play better in every position I put them in, and they stepped up to the plate and got the job done to the best of their abilities. I had to put people into positions they've never ever played before, so that's rough. This season wasn't the most successful as I've had as a head coach, ending with a record of 14, 15, and 4, but it was also the most injuries we've ever had. They gave it their all and stayed focused on what I kept saying, it only matters in October. As I take a look at our season, we had some ups and downs, but way more positive than negatives. Win or lose, they remained positive, and their sights set at the goal at the end of the season, and we always made sure the girls had a good time. I kept saying, we have to get it together by October. As a coach, I was often asked why we were having an off year. If the girls had bad attitudes or didn't get along, none of that was ever the case. We just couldn't get rolling like ourselves in other lineups with various people out. One thing that was for sure, they had a great time at practice, in the locker room, and on trips. They were truly a fun group to be around. Things took a turn for the best when the conference tournament hit and we finally had a full, healthy squad. We played great against Farmington, rolling into the district tournament as the number 5 seed. We had the top team, Park Hill Central, first. I knew coming out of the locker room during pregame that the girls were all in, and that was one of their goals. We fell short the first set, but came back strong in true Dragon fashion to get the next 2 sets. This game was by far the best I've seen the girls play. Everyone played at 100%, and it felt awesome to see the girls play like I knew they could. We then had to match Festus, which we lost earlier in the season, and we also lost out the year previously in the sectionals. So there was already a big rivalry between us. Again, we came out strong, winning in 2 sets, capturing the district title for the 4th consecutive season. This was 100% our season goal, and it was awesome to see the team overcoming so much to achieve their goal. Words cannot express how proud I am of them, and I was that night. They kept their sights on the goal, to win districts. Through thick and thin, they knew what their goal was. We went on to the sectional tournament and did not play the best, but still 100% proud of getting there. And there are numerous teams that are dying just to get where we were on Saturday. I can't say it enough how proud I am for not quitting or giving up on things when they got rough. Through thick and thin, they shined through and got that district title once again. So, I mean, words cannot express that night. If those of you that were there or watched on YouTube, we were definitely the underdog, and no one expected us to win. Against, I think Park Hills was 28-4 or something of the sort. So I am so proud of them for sticking through this season and believing in themselves, believing in their teammates, and believing in us as coaches. Hey, we have it in us. Let's go out there and do it. And like I said, leaving that locker room, I knew they were going to be a force to reckon with. So now on to our team members. I'm going to start with the young ones. So let's start with our sophomores. We're going to start with Abby Moore. Come on up. Abby was an outside hitter for us. She recorded 138 kills for the season. And I cannot wait to watch her play the next few seasons. Next up, Elizabeth Balsler. Elizabeth was a utility player for us, playing outside and right side. She recorded 61 kills, 22 assists, and was always willing to step up when needed in any position. She was a great asset to have, and I remember when we had another person go down, I said, Elizabeth, you're gonna have to go right side and be secondary setter. She goes, okay, coach, that's good, okay. And she just went with it and never had any questions asked. She's like, okay, coach. So, juniors, we're gonna start with Marissa Fleeg. Marissa played middle for us, transitioning from right side last year, and was our leading attacker with 223 kills on this season, and was also our leading blocker with 57 total blocks. I have a feeling her senior season will be our best yet. I can't wait to watch what the year has in store for her. Next up, Jaden Weiner. Jaden was another utility player, playing outside and right side. She got the job done in any position she went in for. Next up, Brittany Kreitler. Brittany was our setter, running a 5-1 for us this year, and did a fantastic job doing so. Many teams would die to have a setter of Brittany's caliber. She recorded 462 assists and is a very hard worker on the court. And she was truly missed when she was out. Macy Reynolds. Macy is a defensive specialist / right side is what she started out, but due to injury, she had to step up without reservation and be a setter. And I'll never forget, I said, Macy, we're gonna try you as a setter. And she goes, okay, coach. I expected like some sort of, are you sure about this, coach? She never questioned, she just knew she had to get the job done. And she took the job seriously and made a dandy setter out of herself, but hopefully next year she can focus on her one of her regular positions. She did a fantastic job stepping in. Next up, we're gonna go to seniors. Julia McClin. Julia was one of our middles, and she recorded 190 kills and was one of our top attackers in every game she played. She was out a few games due to illness and injuries, but was a force to be reckoned with on the court, and she played all the way around for us this year and did a fantastic job whether she was in front row or back row. Her presence on the court will be truly missed next year. Next up, we're going to go Jada Grimminger. Jada was our libero this year. She had 351 service receptions and recorded 29 digs on the season. She has been our libero for quite some time, and she will truly be missed running that back line. Next up, my other defense, Megan Schweigert. Megan was a DS for us. Her and Jada make a good team in the back row. She recorded 229 service receptions, 155 digs. She also led the team in ace serves with 25 on the year. The defensive duo between Megan and Jada will be greatly missed in the future. They have made a great team, and I always love joking. I love their joking with each other and their camaraderie between the two. Practice will be boring next year without you two, that's for sure. Sometimes I thought I would have to sit in the middle of them. Okay, next up we have Ella Reed. Ella played outside for us this year, transitioning from middle last year. Ella was suited much better, I feel like, this year to play outside and had a fantastic season doing so. She recorded 198 kills and 28 blocks and recorded 19 ace serves. I love seeing her in the outside slot and watching her run her different shots in that position. At the Farmington game, she had an awesome line shot that was called out, and I was super mad. Because I told her, hey, this is open, and she hit it just perfect, and it was in, according to me. And the line judge called it out, and I was not happy. And it was not in. It was the Farmington, and I don't even think they were paying attention, so I was even more mad. So Ella just turns around and goes, Coach, it's okay, I'm gonna do it again. And a few plays later, she got the job done. That shows you her attitude and character, and I wanna let her know, keep up that attitude throughout life. Last but not least, I wanna bring up my two managers, Lana Kemper and Megan Aubuchon. These two did a fantastic job being our volleyball managers, and they did anything that I asked of them, or the coaching staff asked. Megan ran quite a few 8-2s, I think. They made her get into drills if they needed a partner. They were always willing to step in when needed, and they're really fun to be around. So, I have a message to the seniors. These seniors have had a very successful volleyball career here at St. John, and were a huge part in our 4 district championships we've earned over the past 4 years. Your work ethic and presence in the gym will be greatly missed. Seniors, I wish you nothing but the best in the future. So now I'm gonna move on to a different direction. We're gonna go with our awards. I'm gonna start with the plaques, which we do not have because all the stats just got entered Monday, so they will be in the future, and I will get them to you. But first up, these are voted on by the team. The most valuable defensive player was Jada Grimminger. Sorry, we do not have anything to give you, but congrats. Most valuable offensive player goes to Marissa Fleeg. The Shatron Spirit Award goes to Ella Reed. And the most valuable player goes to Julia McClin. All right, the medals that just are strictly stat driven. The person with the most recorded digs was Jada Grimminger with 259. The most assists go to Brittany Kreitler. Most serve receives goes to Jada Grimminger with 351. The best serve reception rating goes to Jada Grimminger with a 2.08. The most kills on the season goes to Marissa Fleeg. And the most stuff blocks also goes to Marissa Fleeg with 57. And I hope your medal does not say 7. I accidentally sent Mr. Nick 7 instead of 57, so I tried to change it. So hopefully they add a 5 to that. Sorry, that was my fault. So anyway, one last thing I want to announce. This team as a whole, again, got their 4th district championship in a row. Okay, hold on. The MAAA all-conference team, Julia McClin made first team. For all district first team, we had Julia McClin and Brittany Kreitler. And all district second team were Ella Reed and Marissa Fleeg. And again, this team was great to be around. I can't say enough. It wasn't, with the injuries and all, I can't say how proud I am for them sticking through it and showing everybody. I'll tell you what, a lot of other coaches around the area were talking a lot of crap, and I got wind of it, and it fueled me. And I'm like, we're gonna show you someday that this is not the team that I know. And it was good to see them and hopefully put some naysayers in place when we got that championship. So anyway, I'm done. Have a good night.
The smooth sounds of Jess Fallard.
Sorry.
That's all right, we love you, Coach. Even though you stepped on all my stuff under the podium, thank you. See, I just put those in the wrong one. Okay. I'll figure that out in a minute.
Sorry.
That's okay, you're all good. You were nervous, I could tell.
I don't enjoy it.
Not everybody tells awesome jokes like I do, so don't worry about it. Speaking of making fun of people, Coach Mueller ripped his pants today. And now it's his turn to talk. Ryan Mueller.
I guess I can't embarrass myself more than that. So it was on the front side as well. So it's in the hallway. I don't think I have to tie my shoe right now, so I'm good. Yeah, no, they're tied. We're good. So if I butcher this, I apologize. My first time ever speaking at a banquet. Before I start, I'd like to do some thank yous as well. My first thank you is to Mr. Nix and the athletic department. He helps with the schedule and helped me keep my head attached with all the crazy bus schedules, van schedules, and all that, even though if I wasn't on time all the time with that. The faculty and staff of school, golf requires a lot of missed days, whole days. So I really want to thank the teachers and the staff that helped keep the students up on their grades. Chad Shilley in the golf course, he helps us everything. We talk with him to see what we can do for practice. Without him, we wouldn't be able to practice anywhere. Sports Boosters. Last year they bought indoor nets for our team, and that helps out tremendously for when we get rain out, so we don't have to putt in the hallways. So we have nets now, and we're extremely grateful for that. The community center is where the nets are located. So Brian Geck and Brad Arnold, they coordinate with me, so we're able to get indoor practice last minute. Kyle Schweiss, he marked for us in the postseason, and then Jason Viox and the Herald, Todd Gurnow from Maritime and KTJJ and J98. Then I also want to thank Rachel McDaniel, because she probably got 20 phone calls a day from me. Like Mr. Nick said, I was kind of pushed, and not pushed. I wanted to do this volunteer. I didn't volunteer. I can't talk. My girls know I can't talk in front of people for some reason. I don't know why. But no, she took any question I had and helped out tremendously. And the parents, we have the best parents. They were always there supporting our kids. Without you guys, it'd be impossible for me to keep up with all of them. They helped cart kids to different holes. Having 14 of them, it was really difficult to make sure everyone was in the right place. So thank you, parents. And players, I thank you guys for accepting me and not kicking me to the curb. So thank you. So I want to start again how I was welcome in Coach McDaniel's absence. The girls showed me respect, and I was terrified stepping into the place of 14 teenage women. I felt like I had a great rapport with all of them by the end of the season, but I was extremely proud of what I was given, and we had a great overall season. The JV season, I want to start with them. We had an outstanding turnout for girls golf this season. Like I said, we had 14, which is the most I think we've ever had. After talking with Rachel McDaniel about last year, this was the first time our girls ever had to take a bus to a golf tournament. With that being said, I think we took a bus more than we took a van. So we were able to take our whole team to, I think, like 6 matches. So we were able to bring out the JV and have them play more and get them involved in the game more, and I love that. What impressed me about this group of women is the immense amount of improvement they made during our season. Some improvements were more tangible because these could be seen in their scores, but others were equally important, but not if important of etiquette, rules and course management, and even mental game. That was one thing with golf you fight with a lot. This group remained positive and did not get down on themselves. They chose to lift each other up, something that was really great to see. These ladies became students of the game, and I'm hopeful they will continue to grow their love of the game over the summer and off season. Now I'm going to bring up them individually. Just hold your applause to the end. bridal party? Do we need music? So I was introduced you as a bridal party. How to do that? I don't know if this is in order, but Addie Taylor. Addie has never played golf for school before. She came out and had the best attitude. Dr. Boyd's gonna hand you that. Thank you. She had the best attitude. She always was a go-getter on her team when she played, and she played against somebody. Even if the person against her didn't have the best shot, she'd be cheering for him and tell him it was good. And so it was really good to see her with that good attitude. She took instruction extremely well and worked on to improve her swing throughout the season, and we made some great strides, and I can't wait to see her next year as a senior. Sydney Eisenbeiss. Sydney was another new golfer to our program. Sydney also took instruction well and has come a long way from the beginning of the season. I know we couldn't hit out of the sand traps very well. And then you finally listened to me about an inch behind the ball, and it worked out well for her. So I'm also excited to see her grow as a senior. Right, senior? I'm right? Okay. Mia Schweigert's not here today, but Mia has also come a long way. Our main challenge with Mia was her softball swing, and I think we'll continue to fight that because she loves softball, and she'll be playing every year. So, but she shows great dedication and the drive she needs to excel in all the sports. Next is Ava Meyer. Ava worked extremely hard this season. She had to climb some tough hills, and she had to get the understanding that golf is a difficult game. Ava played one varsity match as a freshman, and she kept a great mindset throughout. I'm excited to see what she brings as a upperclassman next year. And she also loves softball, so we work on that as well. Madison Vaith. Madison Vaith also never played for the golf team before. She's always had a great positive attitude. Another thing, we just have to make sure we know that we got to keep our mental game, and that golf's a tough sport sometimes, but she was always able to get the smile at the end and work. She's been working extremely hard, and we saw a lot of improvements. Reagan Nagger, she came to us late in the season, so she was only able to play a couple matches from us, so she transferred from Valley. She came to the program and fit right in with the girls, and she made great strides in such short time as she was able to play our last home match. I was really excited to see her play there, so I'm excited to see what she brings next year. And lastly, on our JV, our senior, Zoe Finley. Zoe has played all 4 years, am I correct? No, don't listen to me, I like. Zoe has played on the team with us before. Zoe always showed up to practice with a good work ethic and never questioned what I had asked of her. She showed great improvement throughout the year. She was the golfer who had the dry humor that always made me laugh. Being a senior on JV, Zozie. I owe them a Jolly Rancher every time I get their name wrong, so. Zoe was able to be a leader for our underclassmen, and she took on her role at the time and was able to flourish. I hope Zoe continues to golf after she graduates and keeps that positive attitude. All our JV girls worked extremely hard this season, and I can't wait to see them strive next season. So thank you, JV. All right, I'll head to the varsity real quick. We started off our season with a goal of beating our last season low of 220 as a team score. Our girls were able to meet that goal with a team score of 201. We tried to break 200, but we just didn't get there, but we were extremely close. This team placed in the middle of the road of most tournaments, so I was really happy with that. We beat Farmington twice this year, so that was a pretty good goal for us. And our varsity was made up of 3 seniors that will miss extremely much, as well as our senior on JV, Zoe. So let me bring them up individually as well. So our sophomore, Etta Heller. Etta, she for sure kept me on my toes on what might come out of her mouth. She found out quickly I don't like the Happy Gilmore swing to be practiced. I made her run for that. She didn't believe me. Etta was a delight to have on the team, and she always had a positive attitude. Etta had a great drive and wood game, but we struggled with our short game. She improved the short game significantly by the end of the season, and one thing I hope for Etta is that she always stays positive no matter who she is up against. Next I have Brooke Turner. Brooke, the one thing we were able to bond over was our love for mayonnaise. It's kind of weird. Brooke was devastated at the beginning of the season. by not making the varsity group. But that being said, with that being said, she was eliminated last year. I talked to Brooke about needing practice outside of practice, and she took the advice and worked her way back onto the varsity team. Brooke had some confidence issues throughout the season, but when she was able to calm down, she excelled in the game, and I'm excited to see Brooke grow next year in the game of golf as a senior. Next, I have Maggie Miracle. Maggie started off the season extremely strong in the first half of the season. She started the first half year on varsity and doing well in our matches and tournaments. Brooke and Maggie had the exact same average in the middle of the season. I think it was like 56.8, literally down to the tenths. And I had to have a difficult talk with Maggie about this, telling her about the situation and how I'd like to see Brooke try varsity as well because they were tied and since she had the same average. Maggie astonished me by being excited for her teammate and wanting her to excel and take the 6th spot. I can't wait to see how Maggie does next year and how she will with her teammates. She's always not thinking of herself, and that's something that I love. Next, we have Boston Williams. Boston always told the best stories and would try to get me off topic when giving instruction, and if any of you know me, it worked. Boston averaged in mid-high 50s. She always came to practice willing to learn new strategies. During matches, we had some breakdowns, but we were able to talk ourselves up and on the rest of the course. Boston has the drive it takes to be a great athlete and can't wait to see her grow in the game of golf in the future. Oh, and I may have broken her golf cart, so luckily I was donated one so I could give her in return. Sorry about that. I ran it over with a golf cart. Next, we have our seniors on varsity. Isabella Burton. Bella has worked extremely hard this season to overcome a previous injury. She has worked after practice to try and fix her drive, which we were just not able to perfect. She'd gotten frustrated at times, and I was able to talk with her and calm her down. Bella fought herself many times this season due to not seeing the score she exactly wanted, but she was able to make the best of any situation. Bella didn't use her driver this year, but she was able to accommodate for that with her 4-iron off the tee box. Bella was always able to find her mental game to keep her golf game up. Bella was a great asset to the team and helped me out quite a bit, being a brand new coach, and by suggesting on drills and techniques they have done in the past. I hope Bella continues to play golf at the collegiate level or even recreational. Senior Josie Geisner. Josie also didn't start out on varsity, but she was able to work her way onto the roster. Josie had some difficulty with the previous injury as well, and that had an effect on her swing. She started to be able to overcome her mental game and get back to her old swing. Josie always had the best attitude on the course, and I can only hope Josie continues to play golf outside of high school and to continue to love the sport. Senior Cammie Grass. Cammie gave me grief since the first day of my arrival. Cammie was the golfer that I could tell how she was doing before even talking to her. I remember one match she looked so upset and said how terrible she was doing, and I knew to let her alone before I had to leave. I'd at least tell one corny dad joke to get a smile. After the match, I come to find out it was the best she's ever shot all season. She was extremely tough on herself all season. She was also the only one of ours to have a first place medalist with a score of 44, which was the lowest score of the team this season. I hope she continues to golf at the collegiate level. Ladies and gentlemen, your SGHS girls varsity golf team. And then I'm going to go through awards next. The next award I want to present, or the first award I want to present, is the Spirit of the Game Award. Ben Hogan once said, "Your name is the most important thing you own. Don't ever do anything to disgrace or cheapen it." This award goes to an individual who embodies this quote and the spirit of the game of golf. This person has great integrity, great work ethic, great manners and etiquette. As well as a deep love and passion for the game, her attitude and demeanor remained the same on the golf course despite her round was going. Not only that, even though it was frustrating at times, she lifted up competitors that they were having a bad round and remained positive for them, never showing her frustration at the slow pace of play. She wasn't just supportive of competitors, she was supportive of her teammates, coaches, and the program. I could have given this particular athlete most improved as well. Her game has come a long way. However, her consistency and demeanor makes her the clear winner of this award. The Spirit of the Game Award goes to Josie Geisner. The next award I want to present is Most Dedicated Award. This person always wanted to stay after practice and work on her game. She showed up to every single Sunday practice, and she also helped other golfers with strategies while I was busy with other golfers. She was persistent in making her golf game where she wanted to have it. She had ups and downs this season, but she stuck it out, and she had given the best due to a previous injury. The award of the most dedicated golfer goes to Bella Burton. The next award I want to present is the Most Improved Player Award. Honestly, this award was tough for me. There were two varsity athletes who distinguished themselves in regards to improvement this year. They both lowered their first 18-hole tournament from 23 and 22 strokes. However, one player did make them significant as their highest round of the season to 134 to a 108. The other dropped theirs from a 133 to a 111. Both nearly qualifying for sectionals. This year's varsity's recipients of the Most Improved Players go to Etta Heller and Cami Grass. Got your name right. The last varsity award I want to give for the evening is the Most Valuable Player. Again, ultimately, the one girl, or this was a tough award to get to as well, but it goes on averages. The one girl had the lowest 18-hole averages and 9-hole averages. This year, MVP has a 9-hole average of 54, and also overcome playing against senior girls who can definitely be intimidating being an underclassman. We had to work on her mental game, and that usually was not a factor the whole season until this point. She had to overcome that block, and when she did, she bounced back and shot her lowest score of the season with a 49. Our MVP this year is sophomore Etta Heller. Oh, I guess I should give you your award. Sorry. Before I let these ladies sit down, I have one thing to say. As most of you know, I took over for Rachel McDaniel on a maternity leave, so this is my last season, and only season as girls' head golf coach. It's bittersweet for me. These girls have become part of my family in a way. I will be back to hopefully assist them and see how they're doing next year. These girls show promise and that they can be tough. This team is so young. I can't wait to see what they will accomplish next year under Coach McDaniel. And I'm thankful to have played a small part in this program's success and this team's success. Now, ladies, make me proud, and you know I'll be watching next season. Thank you, guys. So that's all I have for golf. And I didn't rip my pants.
Great job, and thank you, Coach, for filling in. You did a fantastic job, of course. Last and definitely not least is cross country, and Coach Boyd is going to come up here and talk about cross country. She asked when I sat down after making fun of Ryan what I was going to say to make fun of her, but I don't have anybody else to coach cross country, so you're safe for now. So, but when I do. So Coach Boyd, you're up next, and she's going to talk about the boys and girls cross country teams.
I thought it was going to be a perfect reason to make fun of me for being short, but thank you for not. I'll do that myself. Maybe. That's too low now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't have this problem last year. I don't know. All right. First, I would like to say that I'm grateful for all the support I received throughout the season. And thank you for all the parents for continuing to bring them to practice, hosting the pasta dinners, supporting them at races, and the several other ways that you show your support. Thank you to Mr. Nix for having an open door anytime we need guidance throughout the season, and to the whole administration for the support of the program. Thank you to Coach Fowler. She was unable to be here for part of the season for maternity leave, but she's excited to come back next year. Thank you to my husband for all his support and the continual listening ear that he lends me. Thank you to Jason Viox and Todd Gurno for their coverage throughout the season. And thank you to Tyler Brown from Potential Therapy for all his help with injuries, and just the many others who support the program all season long. I'd like to start with a short review of the season before we move on to the individual athletes. Both the boys and girls teams worked hard all season. Our first race of the season was our Arcadia Valley. This meet was new to our schedule this year, and several of the kids had a great start to the season. Kylie won the girls' JV race, and 2 boys medaled in the varsity race. After a weekend off of racing, our next race was the Festus Invitational. Festus has a tough course, but they all showed their strength on the hills. and made it worth it, hopefully, to have run hills at practice over and over for those meets. All 3 girls who ran in the JV race medaled that meet. Moving on to the next race, we went to the Cape Notre Dame Invitational, where several of the boys ran big personal record times that meet, which they were extra excited about since we had returned to that course for the district meet. The following week, we raced at Potosi, which doubled as the conference meet. Devin St. Clair and Mason Gegg both earned all-conference honors, placing 7th and 12th in the conference rankings. Our final race before districts was the Farmington Invitational. Half of the kids ran their season PRs here, which was a great feeling since it was the last regular season meet. Our season came to a close at the district meet. It was great for the boys and girls to get postseason racing experience. They all ran so well this season, but really left it all out there at districts. They all ran close to their PRs, even though the district course is a much more difficult course than some of the other races that we see throughout the season. Our district is very competitive, but I believe that we will have a few qualify for state next year. No pressure, guys. I would now like to recognize each of the athletes individually. So as I call your name, go see that crazy man over there, and then come and stand in front. Before I start, I do want to say that after watching these kids push themselves all season long, it's really hard to just sum up all the great things that I have to say about them in a few sentences, so just really scratching the surface of what it means to work with them. Freshman Dakota Meadows. Dakota improved in her racing throughout the season, and will be really exciting to see her continue to progress in the future. Freshman Kylie Carlson. Kylie started logging miles this summer and had an exciting first place finish at Arcadia Valley. She worked diligently throughout the season and made it to morning practices even if it meant eating her morning bagel at the end of the driveway. Junior Allison Braun. Allison ran a few distance workouts at the end of track season, put in some summer mileage, and then made adjustments to her work schedule this fall so she could put her all into cross country this season. Watching her transformation into a distance runner has been really awesome. Senior Hannah Duro. Hannah had more than a stubbed toe this year. She may have kicked someone in gym class and was put in a walking boot for a couple weeks, but she didn't let it stop her from doing her best all season and completing a race. I'm proud of the way that you kept pushing all season. So that is our girls team, but we will move on to the boys now. Sophomore Sean Uzel. Junior Sean Uzel. Sorry, Sean. Sean fought this season to come back from a surgery this summer, but he was sure to have his goofy and energetic personality with him each day. Sophomore Nathan St. Clair. Nathan told me this year that he was tired of injuries every season, and although he faced a struggle this season, he pushed through to have a productive season of racing and improving. Sophomore Levi Wiegand. It has been great to see Levi's growth since last year and his determination at practice, especially if it is a hill workout. Sophomore Mason Gegg. Mason logged a lot of summer miles, kept his enthusiasm for running all season long, and has maybe even come to like the weekly long run that I couldn't convince him to do last year. Junior Devin St. Clair. Devin will push himself every rep of a 400 workout and still keep it casual during recovery as he sings whatever tune happens to be in his head. And he will tell you he broke his toe at the beginning of the year and it's not true. Don't believe him. Every one of these athletes standing in front of you showed determination and grit all season long, and I am proud of each of them. One of my favorite things about this group of kids is the way that they work so hard at practice but still know how to have a good time while doing it. They kept me smiling all season long. Now that they have each been recognized, I've got a few season awards to hand out. Our first award is Most Improved. This award was difficult because there was so much improvement for all of them this year. But with the decrease in race times, a continued focus on improvement, and his 12th place conference finish, this award goes to Mason Gegg. Our next award is Boys' Most Spirited Runner. He was full of energy, enthusiasm, determination, as well as a positive attitude each day, and typically laughed at practice every day. This award goes to Levi Wiegand. Our final award for the boys is the Boys Team Leader. This person showed an example of dedication, hard work through their actions, and he even wanted to continue coming to morning practices the week of districts, even when I told him they didn't have to. This award goes to Devin St. Clair. Our next award is the Girls' Most Spirited Runner. She continued to come to morning and afternoon practices even when facing struggles, and she encouraged positivity. This award goes to Kylie Carlson. The final award of the night is the Girls Team Leader. This person showed an example of dedication and hard work through her actions every single day. This award goes to Allison Braun. The team had an incentive program this season and had the opportunity to earn skulls through the season through coming to weekend practices or running a PR at a meet. Devin, Mason, and Allison each earned 10 or more skulls, so they will be receiving Dairy Queen gift cards as part of our incentive program. This whole team of cross-country athletes are hardworking, motivated, and know how to have fun at practice. With continued dedication, they have a bright future ahead of them, and I look forward to continue coaching and working with them.
Man, she is short. Okay. This is the smallest banquet we have all year long. We have 2 in the fall, we have 1 in the winter, and we have 2 in the spring. And this is the smallest. Out of the 52 student athletes that were invited, 49 out of the 52 are here tonight for a 94% attendance, which is fantastic. That's awesome. So thank you for coming. Thank you to parents for coming as well. A few things before we go. We've got a few drawings that we're going to do. You may win something tonight that you didn't even know that you were going to. But a few thank yous before we do that. Wanted to thank Potential Therapy and Mid-America really quick for their help throughout the course of the fall season. Want to thank the administrative team for all of their guidance, support, and really just somebody to ask questions to when I need that. Being the athletic director, I'm the only one in the district, so a lot of times I have to rely on them for advice. Our custodians, after they leave or after you guys leave, volleyball contest, football contest, whatever it may be, there's a mess to be cleaned up, and our facilities are some of the best in the entire area. We get compliments all the time from different administrators, teachers, coaches, spectators about how nice our facilities are, not only the turf field and the pack and things like that, but how shiny our floors are. I had a lady tell me one time, it was an older lady, and she came out and she gave me that grandma look, and she was pointing at me, and she said, "I was getting ready to chew you out, young man." And I said, "Oh, okay, all right." And she said, "I thought your floors were wet, but they're just that shiny." And I said, "Well, yeah, they are. Our custodians do a really good job." So thanks to the custodians for the job that they do before and after our events. And thank you to concession workers. We couldn't do these banquets without the money that we have from concessions and memberships. We couldn't buy things for the sports programs. We couldn't do the scholarships. So thank you very much. Before we draw for the banners, before we draw for the 50-50, and before we draw something new that I will describe here in just a minute, I want to tell all the athletes, if you were an award winner tonight, so if you got a team award tonight, or if you were all conference, all district, anything that was a postseason honor like that, stick around. I'm going to take you guys' pictures for the newspaper right out here in front of the trophy case. Okay, so don't take off. I'll go out here in a minute when we're done, and I'll start yelling for the volleyball team, golf team, so on and so forth. So don't leave until your picture's taken if you were an award winner or had a postseason honor. Okay, so with that being said, let's do the 50-50 first. For $41, bring your ticket with you. Keep you honest. Coach Boyd? No pressure. You're gonna make one person happy and everybody else mad. Okay, like I said, bring your ticket with you. 974042. What do you mean, yep? Nobody asked you any questions. Gary's got it. All right, I got a winner. Gary, you can bring that up here in a minute. Congratulations, Gary, $41. Okay, and the, actually, before we do the banners, we're going to do something different moving forward at our banquets. For everybody who worked a concession stand this fall, we put your name into a drawing, okay? So if you worked one time, your name goes in one time. If you worked 6 times, your name's in this bucket 6 times, okay? So basically tonight, I'm gonna draw 2 names, and those 2 people are gonna get a $25 gift certificate on Amazon, okay? Next week at the football banquet, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna draw 2 more names for 2 more $25 gift certificates to Amazon. So they don't have to be here, so if I call a name and they're not here, you can't say, here, they're not here, they can't win. So we're gonna draw 2 tonight, and if you don't win tonight, you may win next Wednesday, and you don't even have to be here to do that, okay? So Coach Robertson, draw one of these, please. Angela Johns. Okay, Angela's probably not here. Angela might be Emma Johns? Okay. Congratulations, you're not here, but congratulations anyway. Number 2, hopefully it's somebody here, right? Bethany Ketting, she is here. So Bethany, before you leave, come get your 25. Oh. Well, thank you for being honest. That's funny though. She's like, no, I didn't work. I didn't work. Tiffany DeMercurio, who will be at the banquet on Wednesday. So those are our 2 winners. Sorry if you did not win that, but you may still win on Wednesday. Thank you to everybody who who worked concessions this fall. And we're going to continue to do this at every banquet, where we're going to draw 2 at every banquet that we have. Okay, banners, and then we're done. If you win, take the banner. If you don't take the banner. Golf. Doing golf first. Man, there's a lot in here. Only like 14 girls, but there's 100 pieces of paper in here. Boston Williams. Dad wins 50-50 and daughter, this is rigged. Cross country. Uzel. It doesn't say which Uzel. I wonder which Uzel it is. Volleyball. Everybody's saying Marissa over here. Don't forget award winners to stick around. Ella. Thanks for coming. You guys have a great night.